Akashe cha avisheshat. So, this Vaiseshika school of thought, they are called Ardha Vainashikas, Asatkaryavadis. They don't look upon space as. Space doesn't have to be destroyed. Space is nothingness already. According to them, space is not a part of creation. Space is eternal nothingness. And the four elements have come from nothingness. That is called Asat Karya. Things come from nowhere without their potential being there already unmanned. Without any potentiality, they spring up from nothingness. When it comes to the space, it is already nothingness. There is no visesha nahi hai. Akashecha aviseshat. There is no difference between being nothing and becoming nothing because it is already nothingness. There is no distinction between space and other elements because the space is already nothing and they will be nothing. The other four elements will be nothing. Nothingness is common. This is dismissed in the next sutra. The Sutrakara says, Anusmritescha. Sir, the fundamental, the ultimate cannot be nothingness. There is an observer. Without the observer, memory would not be possible. We are able to remember things. And this memory is based on the eternal. You see, this is a very important. It's not a faculty. Memory is a clue to the eternity of the rememberer. The one who remembers has to have continuity. The one who remembers has to have continuity. And even if he loses memory, he is also aware of the blackout of that memory. He is the observer of both the memory and the blackout. I can remember the yesterday's waking state, call it prativijna or memory, it doesn't matter. I can remember the dream. The experiencer, the one who collected the experience alone has to recollect. Supposing one says, I don't remember my past life, but you are aware of the blackout of the entire past. Blackout is what is called forgetfulness. Forgetting is called blackout. This is echoed by Bhashyaka, by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, and he says, Matta smritihi jnanam apohanam cha. That's one has to see it with a little gambhirata. You have to be a little more serious while studying that line. What facilitates this memory is me. What facilitates perception is me. What facilitates memory is me. What facilitates even blackout is me. Forgetting. Apohanam. Apohanam means vismriti. Forgetting, blackout. Because you cannot think of forgetting unless you are there to see the blackout. You are aware of the fact that there is no memory. That I don't remember anything of the past. I don't remember what happened before my life. This very situation is called apohanam. Lack of memory is called apohanam. And this lack of memory itself, one is able to state it. I am able to state it because I am able to be aware of it. I cannot state what I am not aware of. If I am able to state, then I am aware of it. And therefore, without the eternal presence of the being, there is no memory, there is no apohanam, there is no jnanam. Jnanam means sense perception here. Any kind of understanding is not possible. Understanding is possible only when the one who understands is eternal, because I should be there when I am ignorant and I should be there when I understand. Ignorance goes, but the one who was ignorant continues. The one who saw ignorance alone sees the knowledge. The one who sees the night alone sees the day. Thus, throughout, the most pivotal role is being played by the eternal, please. The eternal is not buried somewhere in our heart or somewhere. The eternal is not buried. The one thing that is playing every pivotal role is the eternal. Therefore, on the basis of the smriti, anusmriti means, you collect and you remember. This is called remembering as per in keeping with the anupashcha. After collecting, you remember it. That is called anusmriti. Not subjective smriti, someday से रेकी वगैरह होता है ना, मैं तो ये देखा वो देखा. That is neither jnanam, that is all subjective imagination. Subjective imagination is different from perception and memory and forgetting. Perception is facilitated by the observer, the eternal, and memory is facilitated by the eternal. And even if one forgets it, even that blackout is facilitated by, even the experience of blackout, the idea of मुझे कुछ याद नहीं है, it is a state. It's called apohana. मुझे कुछ याद नहीं है. You face a kind of a darkness. It's not darkness, it is just really lack of memory. Absence of thought. I don't remember anything. That itself is observed. It's one's experience. Perception is my experience, memory is experience, and apohanam also is experience. And the experiencer is the eternal. Therefore, if there is someone who is playing a role in all our life, is the one who is there, is the eternal, whom we call Mr. So-and-so is eternal. The eternal in the form of a perceiver, rememberer, forgetter, doer, enjoyer, this, that. It is eternal. Therefore, eternal does not intervene in our life. What we call our life is eternal's life. Please understand. It is eternal's life. The idea of me and thou, the idea of man, the idea of a woman, the idea of a particular individual is an error about the eternal. The conscious identity is eternal identity. Therefore, on the basis of Anusmriti also, you can't establish fundamental nothingness. Because if you talk about nothingness, it has to present itself to the observer. This is something, you can't. This is where you have to put your foot down. There is no use of putting your foot down at every place. You have to put your foot down here. How can it all be nothing? Because even nothingness has to present itself to the observer. That observer is not an individual, because even the idea of individuality is a thought presenting to the observer. Even the observed relationship, which is a thought, presents itself to the observer. Meaning the observer from its standpoint is absolute, looking like the light looks like the illuminer. That the light is described the illuminer from the standpoint of an object. But the light from its own point of view is light. Now, the word light is not a relative term because it doesn't convey any relationship. Whereas illuminer is a relative term. Relative term, it conveys a relationship of illuminer and illumined. Light, it doesn't convey any relationship. It's light, it's swarupa. Light is a word that conveys the nature of light. The word light conveys the nature of light. But the word illuminer conveys a relationship. Illuminer, illumined relationship. The word illuminer conveys a relationship. The word light conveys its nature. Similarly, actually fundamentally it is light described as it is light called illuminer. Similarly, the conscious being is absolute, is non-dual, is one without a second, is eternal, but it is described as observer in relation to the universe. Truth is described as the observer. Truth is not observer. Truth is. Because truth from its own point of view cannot be, we can't use any language to describe the truth. The only language that we can use to describe the truth is it is. It is. Sat. To be is its nature. And when we say he is the observer, then in relation to the universe, the truth is called the observer. In relation to the perceptions is called the perceiver. In relation to the thoughts is the thinker. But in relation to all of them is observer. Hariom Narayana. And therefore, it's not easy, sir, to prove the fundamental nothingness. You can't prove. Because in order to prove, you have to be there as the Sakshi. Because the ultimate proof is only oneself, the seer. This is where one has to be very serious. The ultimate proof is only one's own experience, one's own knowledge. One's existence is the proof. You can't have proof for your existence. That's a very big problem. When my existence is the proof of anything's presence or absence, I am the proof that it is my knowledge. It is there because it is my experience, it's my knowledge. It's not there because it is my knowledge. That means the proof of everything's bhava and abhava is Atma. Then in the matter of Atma's presence, there is no proof, pramana. Vedanta is not a proof of the truth, please. Vedanta is the conveyor of the truth. Pramana means pramakaranam pramana. It conveys. It only points to. How does it point? Hey, you don't require any proof. It is fataha siddham, self-existent truth. But if you talk the language of, if you translate the word pramanam to mean a proof, in English we all understand what is a proof. If we think of proof, then Atma is the proof. Atma can't. Atma is self-proved or self-evident, self-existent. Self-proved, this also I don't want to say. It is self-evident. Even if you say self-proved, समझने वाले समझ लेते हैं what it means. Not that it has to prove itself. It doesn't have to undertake a job of having to prove its existence. That's also absurd. Actually, in our experience, what is proved is different and what proves is different. If you say it is self-proved, then we get a doubt. How can the same thing prove itself? Therefore, we don't want to even use the term. It is self-proved. We say it is self-existent. It doesn't require it to be proved, bas. It doesn't require it to be proved. If everything is proved by the self, and the self is proved by something, then how can the first statement be sustained? That everything, including the idea of total non-existence, has to be proved by the observer. And that observer is not non-existent. So if everything is proved or disproved by this observer, then again how can you make a statement that Atma, which is the pramana, which is the prover, of the presence and absence of anything, needs to be proved by something. I say that something also is already put in the everything. Everything is. If everything is proved by Atma, then Atma need not be proved. This is where one has to be little gambhir. One's existence, one's individuality appears and disappears. One's idea about oneself appears and disappears. But even one's idea about oneself is proved by one's swarupam, which is not an idea. The non-idea me proves the idea about me. The non-idea me illumines, proves the presence and absence of the idea about me. Therefore, He Ardhavainashika, He Vaiseshika, He Ardhavainashika, oh my dear disastrous person. In English translation, oh ye disastrous. Fundamentally there is no non-existence. Next sutra. Na asataha adrishtatvat. Now we say, see, for the following reason also, the Vainashikavada is false, is wrong. Why? Because that reason is this. For the following, what is that following reason? Adrishtatva, we don't see, there is no incidence, there is no instance in which, there is no example in this creation in which something comes out of nothing. There is no example. We don't see. If something can come out of nothing, the next sutra is going to say very beautifully. I will start it from now. Then what about law of karma? Jaise karma hai, vaise phal hai. If nothing can create, if something can come out of nothing, then from doing nothing also some result should come. If something can come out of nothing, then the age-old law of karma which says you are sukhi because it is born of some karma before. Sukham comes from punya karma, dukkham comes from papa karma. This is called the law of karma. Nobody can escape from it. However intellectual you are, your papa karma will catch you. Your punya karma will bless you. This law of karma cannot be justified if something can come out of nothing. If sukham can come out of nothing, if dukkham can come out of nothing, then law of karma is gone. Whereas the law of karma they also accept. This is the problem. If we accept the law of karma, then the karma must have, something cannot come from nothing. Sukham comes from punya karma, dukkham comes from papa karma. If this is the truth, then something comes out of something. Something comes from something. Not something comes from nothing. And therefore, we don't have an instance also in this sutra, we can confine ourselves to this sutra. There is no instance in which we experience something coming out of nothing. We can't create a pot out of nothing, an ornament out of nothing, a cloth out of nothing, or a food out of nothing. Then there would be no poverty gene. You can cook food out of nothing. Oh my God, how wonderful it would be. And there will be no samsara. You want rice? Out of nothing rice comes. Sambar out of nothing. Wow. Therefore, this is these are the things must be looked at very seriously. Before spirituality, understanding the truth implies a person looking at things very seriously, looking at one's existence very seriously. Not just living by the beaten thought. We just live and then grow old, enjoy day and night. Like a retired person, after retirement he has nothing else to do. Every day he gets up and has breakfast. He just keeps surviving for a few years and then, like a vegetable, he survives and goes. And even when a person is working, it is the same thing. except that he makes little money, and that money gives him a sense of purpose. That's all kuch nahi. When you are working, you make money and you say, wow, I'm living a useful life. That sense of living a useful life makes you little relatively happy. That manages your health. Otherwise, when you are not making money, then there is no sense of usefulness. Whether you a life before retirement or the life after retirement, actually it is the same, just surviving. And a man who just wants to survive and die, he doesn't roll up in his mind the language of truth. And he has no business to talk about happiness. Because happiness is another word for the truth. Happiness is not an ordinary thing. Happiness is another word for the truth. Peace is another word for the truth. If a man is interested only living and surviving and going, then don't use the language for the truth. Don't have expectation for happiness. But if you are a serious person, maybe due to some sanskara one becomes serious, we don't know how one becomes a very meaningfully serious in life. He looks at his existence. In fact, once seriousness is judged, how serious you look at your existence. Your existence is not a product of the society. It's not even a product of parents, really. The biology is a product of parents. Like when you put on the shirt, your parents may give you a shirt, or a shopkeeper gives you a shirt, but he's not giving you existence. Similarly, parents give you a form, not existence. Our conscious identity is not a social product. That is the most serious thing. Our existence is not a social product. Our existence is not even God's creation, please. Even God's creation is always in the form of 5 elements, and the body is 5 elements. But our conscious identity is not God's creation. Our conscious identity is divinity. It is Bhagavan himself. Bhagavan, when he takes up this form, then he looks like an individual. Therefore, by some sanskara, if a person becomes very serious about one's existence, then one understands he has to be serious about this matter. That is, nothing comes out of nothing. Something doesn't come out of nothing. And therefore, when I wake up, the non-existent me doesn't become existent. The existent me, the peaceful me, becomes embodied me. The peacefully present me becomes the embodied me. The embodied me stands as unembodied me. Not that the non-existent me becomes existent me, and the existent me becomes the non-existent me. Man just feeds on this one thought. Bas. This is the commonest thought. जो मैं नहीं था वो आ गया हूँ, होते होते नहीं रहूँगा. This is the last. Therefore, this is the commonest thought that man feeds on. Humanity feeds on this thought. But if you become serious due to some sanskara, ji, pata nahi kya sanskara hai, what it is like, becoming serious about one's existence is something different. When you become serious, understand, you first dismiss the Vainashikavada. Ardha-Vainashikavada as well as Vainashikavada. Ardha-Vainashikavada is an Indian school of thought. Vainashikavada is a Buddhistic school of thought. But both are Vainashikas, disastrous. Disastrous schools of thought. Swamiji, what is Ardha-Vainashika school in English? Disastrous school. And what is Vainashika school in English, Swamiji? Oh, it is totally disastrous. Therefore, it is not that the non-existent me is born. The non-existent me cannot be born. The non-existent me cannot become existent. Nasato vidyate bhavaha, nabhavo vidyate sataha, ubhayorapi drishtontaha. Ubhayorapi drishtontaha. Tenaiva tattva tastada, tenaiva tattva drishtattva. Naine. Tattva ubhayorapi drishtantaha. He is indeed the knower of the truth, the one who sees the difference between the two. The one who sees the difference between the two means what? The one who sees the difference between Vainashikavada and the eternity. That something, the non-existent becoming existent, and the other is the existent alone looks different. The existent continues to be existent, keeps looking different. The peaceful me looks embodied me. The embodied me stands unembodied me. The waking me looks the dreamer me. The dreamer me looks the waker me. Thus fundamentally there is continuity. Eternity. Continuity means it's not a flow, continuously proceeds. Because flow can never be eternal. It can have a break. Any process has a break. What is forever alone is. Therefore, continuity cannot be considered as a flow in time. Because these words, ultimately bring man's attention back into time and create problems. Every word that is used to convey the truth brings you back from the door of the truth. Because every word has a villain in it, I am telling you. Every word has a villain in it. It brings back the mind to the realm of time. Because the word continuity is used to convey the ever-present. And somehow or other it manages to convey what flows in time. Even eternity is the same. Continuity, eternity, they are all used as synonymous by man. And therefore, nasataha drishtatvat. This is over. Udasinanamapi cha evam siddhi udasinanamapi cha evam siddhi. Sir, if something can come out of nothing, then you don't have to do any action. Out of nothing you can get the money. Out of nothing you can get success. Only something will create something. Some effort can create some result. If something can come out of nothing, then you don't have to do anything. ऐसा होता है. उदासीना नाम अपि. Udasina means those who do not do anything. उदासीना नाम अपि, जो उदासीन रहते हैं, don't feel like doing anything. उदासीना नाम अपि च एवं सिद्धि, even they should become successful. Karta becomes bhokta. The one who doesn't do any action also should get a result. If what you say is true, if something can come out of nothing, then doing nothing also sitting at home should give me results. Even though one wishes so, but it's not so. Wishful thinking creates UP results. Yeah. You can't have wishful thinking. You have to work. I'm telling you, this is the truth. You have to understand, hard work creates hard results. You have to work. And the work is easy. To work and work and work is easy when you are only working to serve the nation, to serve the people, to serve yourself and to serve for the good of everybody. Working becomes a joy only when you work for everybody's good. If you are working for only a selfish motive for your result, then it can become a problem. Work should not be a strategy. Work should be an honest effort to help. Unless someone is convinced of this, I must be honest in my effort to serve, he cannot enjoy. And therefore, hard work with right intention, hard work to help others, to help himself and help others. Hard work. See, when it comes to the law of corner, you can't cut corners. While dealing with somebody, maybe you feel you can cut corners. But in God's law of karma, you can't cut corners. Meaning, you have to be honest. You have to be honest. And therefore, sitting quiet at home gives you nothing. If you do nothing, you get nothing. If you do something, you get something. That is how the world moves. That is how in avidya. Even though it is avidya, but within avidya there is a law of karma. Law of karma is not a part of the truth. It is a part of the error. It is a part of the creation. It is in the creation. It's not an attribute of the truth. Parameshwara is not qualified by a law of karma. Parameshwara is free from all laws. Parameshwara is a fact, not a law. As many scientists say, Bhagavan is just energy. Because all these electrical engineers, these electronics engineers, all these engineers, they always talk about energy. That is a fashion. What is Bhagavan? Energy. I went to one place, they called me one. Before I came to Delhi, there is something called Seeleru project. Seeleru project is in Dandakaranyam. From Vizag I went. They drove me. They were all South Indian engineers. A lot of them, my God, some big project. That was very nice. Swamiji, don't you think, I was a brahmachari at the time, they said, don't you think it is just energy? And I used to think, these are all engineers, idiots. That is why they are all talking this language, energy. God is neither energy, please, nor is he a law. It is a fact. Peace is not energy. Peace is Sat, is a present truth. Energy can be used up. You can tap energy. You can use energy. We are talking about the observer, the being, which is eternal being, which is not even a law. Therefore, the law of karma is not a part of Bhagavan, please. God's law is not a part of God. Like God's creation is not a part of, is not an attribute of God. It is non-separate from God, yes. Wave is non-separate from water, but it's not an attribute of water. इस वाक्य को समझेंगे तो आप लोग, you are very brilliant. Wave is non-separate from water, but it's not an attribute of water. Make sense out of it. It means a lot for you. Similarly, creation is non-separate from Bhagavan. It doesn't qualify it. It is an appearance in him. And within the appearance is the appearance of the law of karma. The law of karma is not there as an attribute of the truth, but it is there in the creation. Therefore, as you do, so you reap. Holds in the creation. As you do, so you reap. Cannot be doubted. In the whole creation may be an appearance. Along with that, the law of karma also is an appearance. That is a different matter. But within the creation, law of karma. Therefore, doing nothing doesn't bring you success. Even a Swami, he may not do karma, but he has to do vichara. Knowledge he can understand as a result of vichara. A karmakandi has to do karma to get the phalam. A sannyasi has to do vichara to get the understanding. But supposing a karmakandi does nothing, then he doesn't get the result also. If a sannyasi doesn't do vichara, he doesn't get any clarity also. You can't expect something to come out of nothing. It's over. This verse. Yeah, we are moving so fast, isn't it? Na abhavaha upalabdhehe na abhavaha upalabdhehe. We have seen Sankhya school, Purusha and Prakriti, Dvaitis. Then we have seen the Vaiseshika, Atomvadi, Anuvadi. And themselves, a sect of them is called Ardhavainash, Asatkaryavadi. That also we have seen. And Sarva Vainashikavadi, Shunyavadi also we have seen. That is, everything perishes, ultimately nothing. Everything we have disproved on the basis of the Sakshi, the observer. On the basis of the observer, we have disproved. And now we are going to do, among the Buddhists there are Vaibhashikas, Vijnanavadis, Madhyamikas and Shunyavadis. Realists, idealists and nihilists in English. realists, idealists and nihilists. Realists they are called Vaibhashikavas. They are one sect of Buddhists. Realists, meaning what? The world is real. Because it is there, and the world causes mind. The world is the cause, the mind is the effect. They read causation between the world and the thought. The object causes the thinking. The world, the objects cause the body, the senses and the mind. It creates. The elementals create, the elements create the elemental. Me as an individual is a product of the elements. My thinking is a product of the objects. This is what is called realists. In contrast to the realists, because in every school, there are internal fights, understand? This is a very big thing. Wherever there is. You don't have to create, you don't have to divide anybody. You just wait, they will divide themselves. You just keep on doing the right thing in your life. बाकी सब अपने आप डिवाइड हो जाएंगे. You don't have to compel others to do the wrong things. You just have patience, they will do the wrong things. Yes, this is a big rahasyam ji in life. They will make mistakes. Among the Buddhists also, they are called in Hindi gut. गुट होता है ना, गुट. एक ही पार्टी में आने को गुट होता है ना. गुट मीन्स ग्रुप, sect, particular sect. The realists are one Buddhistic gut. You better learn this word. Gut is a good word. It is a gut. Realists are a gut. Then what do? They say, you are only a product of the elements. So I am the effect and the elements are the cause. So between the elements and the individual, between the universe and the individual, they create a cause and effect relation. This is called the realists. They are called Vaibhashikas. That I am not interested in that term. And then there is an idealist. They are called Vijnanavadis. Idealists means what? Universe is your mental creation. You are the cause. The mind, thought is the cause. Object is the effect. Your mind creates the objects. So the realists say the world is the cause and the mind is the effect. And the idealists say the mind is the cause and the world is the effect. Do gut ho gaya na ji? Now, Vedanta first dismisses the Vijnanavadi. Vijnanavadi means, that the world is a creation of human mind. He says, no, na bhavaha. The world is not non-existent, sir. It is not created by you. It has its existence. Upalabdhe, it is an object of perception. Upalabdhi hai. Na bhavaha. This universe is not your creation. It is not your creation. It is creation, but not your creation. Swamiji, if you say it in anger, how do you say that? Tumhara baap ka srishti nahi hai. Yes. This is not somebody, any person's creation. Why? Na abhavaha. Veda Vyasa says. It's not something that is not there and you put it there. Why? Upalabdhehe. It is seen to be. There is a sense of reality. You say it is real. If you have created it, then you would also remember that it is my creation. When you create your house, then you know that it is my creation. A jiva always remembers what he creates as his creation. But this world, nobody remembers, nobody has the idea, nobody thinks that it is his creation. If you can create something, you can create a big mansion. Why do you have to take loans from the bank, Ji? Therefore, the universe from Vyavahara Drishti is a reality. Paramartha Drishtiya, both the mind and the universe are a creation. That's a different matter. You can't divide mind and the universe and then say the universe is the cause of the mind and the mind is the cause of the universe. Because if there is a cause and effect relationship between the mind and the universe, seriously you hear this point. Because wherever there is causation, the cause should exist even before the effect comes. The father should exist before the son comes. The cause should be there. So if the mind were to create, if the mind were the cause of the universe, then I should experience the mind even before I see the universe. And if the universe were the cause of the mind, then the universe should be evident to me because I am the Pramana. The universe should be evident to me even before the mind is born. But I experience both at the same time. The mind and the universe. Therefore, you cannot divide the mind and the universe. It is one block. This is what Siddhartha is telling. Don't read causation between thought and object. Don't read causation between senses and the objects. Don't read causation between the Jiva and Jagat. Jiva and Jagat form one block. Because when I feel that I am the Jiva, I also feel the universe. When I transcend the universe, I don't experience myself as a Jiva. When I transcend the universe, I transcend my Jivatva. When I transcend my Jivatva, I transcend also the universe. And when I transcend my Jivatva, I transcend the universe, time, space, everything. Because the entire creation I transcend. The entire creation, that is called transcendence. Transcendence, you never transcend a given thing. You always transcend the whole creation, including the body, the senses, the mind, the intellect. Instead of thinking about this object, if you think about that object, it is a vikshepa. It is not transcendence, please. If you are not thinking about your house, you have not transcended your house. It is a distraction, vikshepa. It is a switch from one object to another object. A switch from one object to another object cannot be called transcendence. Swarupavastha. Transcending means you stand yourself. Therefore, if the mind were the cause of the universe, then the mind should be experienced by me independent of the universe, and vice versa, which is not the case. And therefore, there is no causation between the mind and the universe. In this way, you dismiss both the schools, idealists as well as realists. The Sutrakara dismisses both the realists and the idealists in one argument. And then he elaborates, na bhavaha. Don't look upon, from vyavahara drishti, don't look upon the universe as non-existent or ever creation. It is there. It's a creation in Bhagavan. Your mind also is a creation in God. From vyavahara drishti, it is a reality. It looks real. For a layman, what is a reality place? What looks real is real. What looks real is real. What else is the criteria? What is the yardstick for reality for a layman? जो सच दिखता है, वो सच है. What is gold? What looks gold is gold. All that glitters may not be gold, but what looks like gold is gold. What looks gold is gold. Therefore, for a layman, what is reality? What looks real is reality, please. For Vedanta, what is reality? It's amazing. Vedanta says, what is evident and unnegatably evident is a reality. Abadhyamanam is reality. The unnegatable, indisprovable, unresolvable, what can never be negated in any way from one's experience is the reality. What cannot be negated, the unnegatable is the truth. For Vedanta, the unnegatable is the truth. And for a layman, what is the truth? What looks the truth? The truth. From vyavahara drishti, you should go by a layman's view. Because from vyavahara drishti, we are all lay anyway. From vyavahara drishti, everything looks true, so we go by that mapdand. We go by that yardstick. In Hindi it is called mapdand. I should take some Hindi classes. You don't know, mapdand? Yardstick, criterion. Yes. What is the reality? It looks real. And therefore what looks real means it is. It looks to be, therefore it is. Therefore it is not your creation or non-existent. From vyavahara drishti, the universe is neither our creation nor is it non-existent. From vyavahara drishti, it is there. It looks to be so. We are not defining the universe to be true or by itself. See, that is how it looks. That is svabhavikam. How it looks, how I find myself with, that is called svabhavikam. I find myself with a reality-looking universe, real-looking universe. Therefore, sir, here the Siddhanta says, he argues with the idealists, Vijnanavadis, don't say the universe is non-existent or your creation, and don't read any causation. Na bhava upalabdhe. Clear, Ji? Wow, we have concluded this sutra also, Ji. What a thing. Next sutra, just Vaidharmyacha na swapnadivat Vaidharmyacha na swapnadivat Jagrat doesn't look like your dream. It doesn't look like a dream. It looks reality. Don't think it is a dream. From Paramartha Drishti, it is a dream. From the truth point of view, it is a dream. From the truth Drishti, it is a dream and it is only truth alone is. From Vyavahara Drishti, it is not a dream, it is a reality. Vaidharmyacha, because of the dissimilarity, to be a dream. There is a difference between dream and reality. There is a Vaidharmyacha, na swapnadibhati. It is not like swapna, etc. Don't call it a dream, don't call it a magic, don't call it this or that. It's a reality. From Vyavahara Drishti, it is a reality because it looks real. It looks real, therefore I go by its looks. Going by its looks is what is called Vyavahara Drishti. Life is lived on the basis of Vyavahara Drishti. It looks real, therefore I take it as real. Therefore, my dear Buddhist, my dear Vijnanavadi, don't say that this universe is non-existent, or it is a mental creation, or it is an effect of your mind, etc. Don't use this language. It is there, it is God's creation. It is a creation, it is not my creation, it is a creation, it is an appearance in God. Then they will say, all right, but then the Shruti says you are that truth. Yes, if you look at yourself as that truth, understand yourself as that truth, yes, it is an appearance in you, but it's not your deliberate creation. Srishti is not a deliberate creation, it is an appearance. No appearances can be deliberate. One of the big problems associated with this word creation is this. Immediately we bring in the will. And the spirit of Vedanta is lost there. The moment we use the word creation, we bring in the will. It is we associate certain words with certain things. Just as they think of a Swami, they think of a mala. Association. Or you think of a Swami, you think of a kamandalu. Or you think of a schoolboy and you think of books in his hand. This is called association. You think of a soldier and you think of the uniform. All problems are there. The words don't convey. I have to make them convey. I have to extract the vision from the words. Not that the words convey. Words don't convey to a sluggish man. I have to use the words. I have to extract the meaning from the words. So the word creation, always we associate it with the will. And God created means God, then you associate will with God. Associate my will with God, etc., etc. And this unit, creation, does not imply any deliberation. It is actually a perception, but described as a creation. That is where the entire seriousness is. Life is a perception, but treated by Vedanta as a treated for the Manda Madhyama Adhikaris. Otherwise, it is a perception. That's how it is experienced. I don't experience the universe as a creation. I experience it as a perception. I always feel it's an object of my perception, my knowledge. I see it. I see myself. I find myself seeing myself as an individual. I find myself seeing the universe. Therefore, the universe is always, whenever it is presented, it presents itself to me as an object of perception. Perception, bas, thinking, perception. Therefore, Bhagavan did not create it deliberately. But it is an appearance in God, in the truth. But definitely it is not your deliberate creation. It's not your creation, nor the world is non-existent. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Ganga Maya ki jai. Thank you, Ji. Happy Holi, Ji. Tomorrow is going to be Holi, there will be no class.
Yeah.
And what a UP elections.
Amazing.
I see. Purnamadaha Purnamedam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We forget it.